Hello, I'm Steve, the owner of Old Bones Fabrications. Welcome to our YouTube channel. We're going to be working hard this year, 2023, to bring you monthly up-to-dates on our builds, weekly progress, and our daily day-to-day antics in the workshop as well. So please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, it really helps us out. You can also keep up to date with us daily via Instagram and Facebook. We're constantly uploading that as well with progress on the individual builds. We've recently been made this year a NOVOL Golden Partner, one of only a handful of selected body shops in the UK to receive this honour. So whilst carrying out this paint restoration on the Aston Martin, we're going to be talking you through the whole Novol For Classic Car paint renovation system as we go. So it's going to be a step-by-step procedure. We're going to be talking you through the products, when we use them, how we use them, and why we use them as well. Using the complete Novol For Classic Car paint renovation system from step 1 all the way up to final finish will ensure the customer receives a 5-year paint manufacturer's guarantee direct from Novol. It's also backed up by a restoration file and certificate which is handed to the customer, so that's a nice little keepsake as well. Now this video is going to be split up into 2 parts, so that's why you need to like and subscribe to our YouTube and click the little notification bell so it lets you know when the next video is out. First video is going to be getting the car up into spray filler, and the second part will be getting it from spray filler into final paint. Rob is going to be doing all the work on the DB5, so as he goes through, he's going to be talking through the processes as he does them. So thanks for watching, thanks for supporting us. First plan of attack on the Aston Martin is to do a full panel and fixture strip down. It's very important when handling any bare metal car, whether it's aluminium or steel, that you wear gloves, hand protection. Just sweaty handprints alone could have like a detrimental effect further down the line when it comes to paintwork, and it might not be visible initially, so very important. Everything we strip off gets photographed, tagged and bagged, so we've got a good recollection of how it all goes back together and reassembled. And then yeah, then we'll move on to masking up the inside. More extensive or concourse restorations, it's quite important that they pay homage to how they were originally built, crafted and painted. The Aston Martins originally were done in like a red oxide on the inner skeleton. This isn't red oxide, this is like a more modern equivalent. It's a colour matched red oxide, but it's actually an epoxy primer. So this goes down on the bare metal and helps seal the metal from any corrosion.
So as everything's being tagged and bagged, we're also going to start masking the epoxy to make sure that nothing gets damaged or scratched, and it will remain clean throughout the restoration process. As we remove the panels, I'm going to be checking them for permanent marker, using some acetone to wipe it off, and then we're going to DA the foiling marks out with 120 and quickly hit the faces of the doors with T40 to make sure we removed any harsh scratches before we put it into epoxy primer. I've been busy prepping the panels, 120 and 240, just to get out of these nasty filing marks. We're nearly done, ready to put them in the booth and epoxy primer them. Jamie's been busy masking the inside of the shell to keep it nice and clean. Hopefully we'll have that ready for epoxy primer soon. So we've got all the panels in the booth, all ready for some epoxy primer. We're going to give them a quick blow off, and then we're going to use some water-based degreaser, and then we're going to use some plus 800 degreaser, and then we're going to whack it on bake so the panels get up to temperature before we apply the epoxy. We're about to mix our NOVOL Classic Car epoxy. You may wonder why I turn the tin upside down. It's so if it's settled in the bottom that it will go to the top, and then when we use our paddle drill, it's mixed correctly all the way through. It's next to the heater as well to try and make it a little bit warmer. And then also we have got the data sheet up. It tells it it's a 3-to-1 mix, and this will give you all of the timings and all the temperatures that it needs to be applied at. We are using the 1.8 SATA RP. It's a brilliant gun, it lays the product down nicely.
Jamie and Rob have been working really hard, getting the shell prepped and masked up, and now it's at the stage where we're ready to push it to the booth, get it degreased and into epoxy primer. As you can see behind me, the Aston Martin is now in its epoxy primer. It's been baked off for 45 minutes at 60 degrees Celsius. And the next stage for us will be to take out the booth and start hanging the panels. When it comes to hanging the panels on the Aston Martins, it's not that straightforward. The bonnet has a tensioner bar in there, which you've got to adjust up properly to help it close. Boot lid is pretty straightforward, but the doors, what we'll do is we'll pre-weight the doors anyways, so it puts a bit of pre-tension on it to mimic the original weight of when they're fully built up. And this way we can ensure that the gaps stay even throughout the whole process, even when it's painted.
What the fuck is that?
That's a tick. That is a tick.
That is not
that is a fucking
tick,
box.
mate.
I'm using a mixing stick to stir up the blue light filler to get all the resin out the bottom, because if you stir it up properly it will go in a lot nicer. So we're going to quickly talk about the application of NOVOL blue light filler. We red Scotch-Brite the epoxy primer to make sure we don't break through, so it remains nice and thick before we apply it. So we will red Scotch-Brite it and then degrease it off, make sure all the dust is out of the fine red Scotch-Brite scratches before we apply the NOVOL blue light filler. Hello? Hello? We are in the middle of levelling this side. We've blocked it 80, guide coated it up with a powder guide coat, masked out the hard line through, ready to block it 120, 180 and 240. In this process we will use a wide selection of blocks to ensure that we get all of our contours and all of our straights perfect. Perfect, thank you. Your name's Rob, okay, so just sign it down. Have a good day, mate. Cheers, mate, thank you. We've just had an exciting delivery of Aston Martin parts. Majority of the filler work's done on the car now. It's just going around and sort of fettling it and making sure it's ready for spray filler. These are polycarbonate light lenses, so we're going to mask these up so they don't get scratched. The surrounds are chrome, but they're going off to be re-chromed once we've done the bodywork. And we've got the seal to go around to make sure everything fits perfect. So this is a very important part of the process. A lot of time and effort and dedication goes into these mugs to fill them with coffee to make sure that we are well hydrated and concentrating on what we're doing.
And lubricated. Part of doing the full dry build is fitting up of all the bright work and all the badges and everything like that. And we're at the stage now where we need to fit the infamous David Brown Aston Martin badge on the front. I've got a centering rule here, so I'm just trying to gauge the centre point of this front panel. And we've been trying to use photos as reference, but they all seem to be mounted a little differently. So some of them are bang on in the centre, and some of them slightly off centre. But this one, I think we're going to go bang on for the centre of the panel this way, and this way as well. So this centering will hopefully make things a bit easier.
The car is ready for a dry build, so we're going to fit everything onto the body: windows, door rubbers, door catches, bumpers, headlights, everything imaginable to make sure it all fits and remains looking perfect.
We're going to degrease with the silicone remover. Reason why we're using the silicone remover is it's the best possible thing for the classic car system. I'm just going to use silicone remover, not water base, because water base might sink into the filler and might cause any issues with the spray filler. So we're just going to strictly use silicone remover for this process now. And we'll probably use it all the way through up until it's ready for paint. And then when we paint, we'll use water-based degreaser, the NOVOL stuff, when the booth's running and the panel's at temperature, to make sure that the water-based degreaser doesn't soak into the primer because it's permeable. We've wetted the panel up. You can see that it's nice and clear and there's no scratches. There are some breakthroughs, so before we spray fill, we're going to use some isolator primer and just seal in that bare metal before spray filler. So the car's in the booth ready for spray filler. We're going to use some isolator primer. We're going to spot in some of the breakthroughs just to give the metal some protection. So we're going to use the Sata Jet 100. This is a 2.5mm setup on the tip with short horns, which is perfect for polyester spray filler.
So we're going to talk about mixing up the PS spray filler. I always weigh it out, and it's 100 grams to 3.7 to 4.5 grams of hardener and a maximum of 10% thinners.
So, all spray filled now. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you for part 2. What? I don't really know what else you want me to say. Steve Jones is into Marilyn Manson and he's got a pet pigeon.